Boom! Hey, how you doing? It is Similar Speaker here, your guide to cleaning business success. Once again, I want to say welcome back to another remote cleaning business video. Today, I'm going to talk about. Oh wow, my screen unlocked. Today, I'm going to talk about why the remote cleaning business is one of the best businesses to get into. Why the remote cleaning business one of the best businesses to get into. If you haven't seen my video before, like I said, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. At the end of the video, if you gotten any value or you felt the effort that I was trying to put in to give you some value, definitely give me a thumbs up as well. Once again, to announce in my videos, and I announced in my other videos, I am a chatty patty. So with that being said, what I've been trying to do is kind of just get straight into it. So that is what we are going to do. Get straight into it. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about the reasons why I got into remote cleaning business. These are the reasons why I got into the remote cleaning business. You know, I got to put my straight line that's not straight, but the iPad's going to straighten it out. These are the reasons why I got into the remote cleaning business. One, high demand with low barrier to entry, right? So cleaning is constantly needed. A lot of people need cleaning, whether it be homes, offices, rental units, new buildings, new constructions, you name it, right? A lot of times people need cleaning done. And so there is a high demand for cleaning services, right? Which means that there is an opportunity to be a supplier. Now, the great thing is, in order to be a supplier, once again, the remote cleaning business model doesn't require you to know how to do the cleanings, but just to be able to simply connect the cleaners, the clients with the cleaners, and the cleaners with the clients. So it's a low barrier to entry, right? You don't have to have any cleaning skills. You don't have to have a bunch of supplies, right? You just have to have that online business presence, in which, if you look at my other videos, you can literally make an online storefront for less than $500. And with that $500 that you use to get an online storefront and your systems and automation going, that $500 investment can easily make you $10,000 to $20,000. So it's a high demand, low barrier. You have about, we'll say a $500. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna jump the gun because this goes into my next point. But nonetheless, right? So you have a high demand for this service and a low barrier to entry, right? Which makes opportunity for us. Especially the cool thing with the remote cleaning business model is that you don't have to be the one to do the cleaning. You don't have to know how to clean. So that saves us a major headache. That literally makes the barrier even lower, the fact that we don't even have to do the cleaning. So that's number one. Let's get into the second point. And this is why I said I didn't want to jump the gun. It is a low startup cost. I got too passionate. I was getting ready to jump the gun. You can literally start this business model with $300 to $500. But that same $300 to $500 investment could make you between $10,000 and $20,000 a month. Mind you, the initial investment is $300 to $500, right? So the monthly charge is probably, maybe I want to say $200, even less, right? $100 to $200 monthly to keep the business running. But that same $100 to $200 can make you $10,000 to $20,000. It can make you $10,000 to $20,000. So I love this business model because it's a very low startup cost. That's why I love the remote aspect of it, and I'll talk about that later. But I like this middleman business model, but because if you're just playing the middleman, you're connecting the client that's looking for a service with the service provider. There's very minimal cost that you have to endure, right? Very minimal. You don't need an office. You don't need an office. You don't need a big commercial space. Not to say if you want to dream big and go that way, you can do that, right? But you don't need an office or a big commercial space, right? So that actually goes to my next point, right? On why I chose to do the remote cleaning business model. It's because it was remote, which equaled freedom and efficiency. You can literally run this operation from anywhere. You don't need an office. A laptop and a phone is all you need. As long as you have service on your phone and some Wi-Fi, you can get Wi-Fi in public places. Also, another thing, if we want to even go deeper, right? The phone that you can, for example, if you get an open phone, that's an app that you can, a service or an app that you can use as a phone for your business, right? You don't even need to have like an actual T-Mobile service plan with them. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can use that phone. So because it is remote, it gives you the freedom to run it everywhere. And because it's remote and all you need is pretty much your Wi-Fi and a laptop, because you can get the phone on your laptop, it's efficient. It can be ran anywhere. Only laptop. Equal efficiency. You can do everything from the laptop. You can scale this whole company simply from your laptop. So that made me fall in love with this, right? I can go to Bali. I can go to Nigeria. I remember one time that I traveled out. This was domestically though, right? I remember one time that I traveled domestically. Road trip, and I just had my laptop. I used the hotspot on my laptop to run this company. Come on now. It doesn't get any better than that, man. It does not get any better than that. So this is something that can be ran efficiently. It can be ran from anywhere on the laptop. You can use Wi-Fi or even hotspot to make this work. So first we got high demands with the low barrier to entry. Then we have a low startup cost. It's remote, which equals freedom and efficiency. Now the next reason I want to talk about in terms of why I got into this business model. You know what? For those that know me, I don't actually erase. I just swipe over because I want to be able to keep this information. 4, generous profit margin. A lot of times, right, we are keeping between 40 and 60% of the booking. From booking. I actually had a cleaning recently that I kept 73%. I kept about 73% of the booking. So it will go up, and there are times that it can go down to as low as 40. But what your target goal really should be 50 to 60% of the profit is what you should be keeping after you actually fulfill an appointment, right? You should be, whatever revenue you charge, 50 to 60% of that should go to you. Now, obviously, that is going to be based off, how much you have to pay for labor. But a lot of times, I've had times where I charged the client $380 and they paid $120 for a cleaning. Right? So we have generous profit margins. So what does that mean, right? Let's say 40 to 60% is what you're keeping. Let's meet in the middle at 50%, right? So that means if you're making, let's say you made $10,000 for the month, you are keeping $5,000. Equal 5K kept. Right? And there are people that do $10,000 within their first 30 days. I've seen $30,000 within the first 60 days. So first 60 days, someone was able to keep $15,000. Someone was able to keep $15,000. So it has a great profit margins, right? And the better you get, the better you can actually secure, like, what is that profit margin you don't want to go under, right? It's like some people, you may say, hey, under 55 is a no-go. That's a red day for me, right? So it's generous profit margin. I love it. Very predictable. And that actually goes back to my what actually goes forward to my next point. Because this business is very predictable, it is very scalable, which makes it sellable. Because you can predict, because it makes it very predictable, right? You know kind of what your margins are. It makes it scalable and sellable. What aspect makes it scalable? Having the right systems. By having the right system, you can scale this company across the country if you would like, right? Once you have the right system in place that's replicable, you can literally replicate that business in a whole different area. You can do it in a different city, a different county, a different state. And the thing about this business, it is scalable and predictable. You can project your numbers, right? Plus, we have the reoccurring revenue that we get from the cleaning, which makes this business very sellable. Reoccurring rev/profit makes a business more valuable. When we have reoccurring revenue and profit, it makes a business more valuable, and when it's more valuable, it's definitely sellable. You can get more. You can get technically more bang for your buck. Well, the person selling it or the person buying it would get more bang for their buck, and you would get a good amount of bucks for the amount of bang that you put in this business. So this was another reason why I really love this business. It was scalable, right? I knew the right systems I needed. If I got the right systems, tuned them up a little bit, I could project how much money I was going to make in the future. I was getting reoccurring revenue, right? If I knew if I got in a certain amount of doors with the client, that I was going to make sure that this percentage of the client that came through my door today, right, that came through my phone, that came through my business today. So I'm trying to move them up. That came through my business today, I know that this is my close rate in terms of converting one-time clients into reoccurring clients. And because I have this data and I know this and this is easy to predict and keep together, it makes the business sellable. I can sell this business. I have a friend that just sold his business, and mind you, he didn't even have a lot of systems into it. I have a friend that just sold his business for $375,000. 20-year-old. There's no excuse, right? So going back, these are some of the reasons. Like I said, I'm trying to get into just give you guys the information straight and not give you too much. I don't want to say fluff, or more so just not going too off the rail or off the journey in terms of the information I'm giving you. These are the 5 reasons why I felt like this business was a great business to get into. Once again, if we're looking at it, we got high demand with a barrier to entry, right? We got a high demand with a low barrier to entry. A lot of people need cleaning. You don't even have to know how to do the cleanings in order to you don't even know how to have to do the cleanings in order to be able to get into the industry. We have a low startup cost. You can start up with about $300 to $500. A $300 to $500 investment can take you and make you $10,000 to $20,000, right? You can make $10,000 to $20,000, and the beauty of that is going to the next point. You can do that from anywhere, right? It gives you freedom. It gives you freedom to be able to run this company anywhere, right? And because you only need your laptop, because technically you can get the phone app on your laptop, all you need is Wi-Fi. So it's very efficient. And you can scale it all from your laptop, right? You can scale it all from the laptop. And then when we keep going, we talk about the general profit margins, right? The profit margin is very generous, right? We keep 40 to 60% of whatever we charge for that booking. So if you charge $10,000 on average, you'll maybe keep 5, right? Depending on if you can maintain it at a 50%. I put 40 to 60, but realistically, you want to be maintaining the 50 to 60% profit margin, right? I'm not going to get into the whole gross and net. I think I should make another video about that, though. I should probably do it. I'm going to write that down somewhere. But 50%, you should be trying to at least get a minimum of 50% profit margin, keeping 50% of the revenue that you charge for a client. So if we make 10, you'll keep 5. And then once again, because we can kind of predict that, right? Because we know how much we're going to make from booking, because we can see how much it costs to acquire a client, because we know the data, right? We can easily see for every, for every this amount of clients, for every X amount of clients that call us and do service with us, this percentage of them turn to a recurring client, right? Because we can put all that information together, it becomes very scalable and sellable. We can sell it. We know we have recurring revenue and recurring profit coming, right? So this business becomes a lot more valuable, it becomes a lot more sellable, right? Use this information wisely, right? Use this information wisely, because you could use this information. So then, let's say you don't want to do the remote cleaning business, but you do want to do a remote service business, right? Use this information to be able to pick a wise niche. What niche can you get into that will be scalable, right? That has great margins, that has high demand and low barrier to entry, that the startup cost is not too much, very low startup cost. Use this information to figure that out. But with that being said, that is the end of this video. Once again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. As well, if you received any value from this video, or you felt that I put in effort to give you value, definitely give me a thumbs up. Once again, I know I can be the chatty patty. So what I'm trying to do now is give you guys the information straight. I'm trying to just go straight into the information, try to keep it short, keep it sweet. And then if you have any questions, you can comment, or you can actually get in touch with me on a one-on-one, and you can ask your questions as well. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys watching the videos, and I look forward to see you guys again. Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. is when I drop a video. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. you can expect the video, so you can turn your bell notification on, so when I drop a video, you'll get that notification. Once again, thank you so much, and have a great day.